After it is placed on the dining table, it is typically consumed in seconds, but getting it on the table is one of the most time-consuming undertakings in an Indian kitchen. It is the samosa, a triangular pastry that is perhaps the most popular appetizer at any American Indian or Punjabi restaurant today. If it's Thursday morning at the Punjab Cafe in Quincy, it's samosa time. That's when the restaurant staff huddle in the kitchen around rollers, needles, mixers, scraping grates, pans, and sizzling oil to make anywhere from 400 to 500 samosas, which amounts to about a week's supply of the appetizer for the restaurant's customers. The staff recently invited our cameras into its Quincy kitchen to show us how the samosa is made from scratch. The samosa, according to food historians, originated in Persia in the Middle East and dates back to a time more than 1,000 years ago when it was eaten primarily by the royalty of the day. But because it was so tasty, merchants soon began exporting the samosa to other parts of the world. One of those places, the Indian subcontinent, perfected the culinary art of samosa making that it has become today. At the Punjab Cafe, the samosa is made with a combination of white flour, chickpea flour, salt, water, and a variety of spices. The first step in the process is to mix the flour, salt, and water into a semicircular dough that to most Americans will look no different than a pizza dough. After it is kneaded, the dough should be sticky enough to hold together, but at the same time it should remain somewhat dry, sort of like your average mashed potato. Remember, the drier the dough, the crispier the texture of the samosa's outer covering. After the flour is kneaded, the staff parcels out the dough into smaller ping-pong-sized balls. They are then set aside to sit for a while. Step number 2 in the process involves the potato. It is in many ways what distinguishes the samosa from other pastries. First, the potato is boiled in water. You'll notice that the staff here likes to keep the boiled potato still relatively hard so that it can sit without cracking or crumbling from being too soft or overboiled. Next, it is shredded just like one would shred some cheese on a grate. The shredding is done so that there is a sort of flakiness to the potato as it comes off the grate. Step number 3 takes us to the stove. Here a number of spices and seasonings are heated, mixed, and sautéed in a thin layer of soy oil, the oil of preference at the restaurant here. The samosa is made by different ethnic groups, each giving it a flavor of its own through different blendings of spices. The Punjab Cafe, which specializes in Punjab cuisine, the seasonings of choice include garam masala, which is unique to the Punjab region in India, coriander, cumin, chili peppers, salt, and onions. The restaurant also likes to give its samosas a sweet touch by adding a handful of sweet peas to the recipe. Step number 4. The now sizzling blend of seasonings is mixed in with the potato. Throw in a bit of cilantro and mix the batch all together, just like one would toss a green salad. As I said earlier at the beginning of the piece, the process of making samosas is a very labor-intensive one, requiring lots of patient kneading, blending and mixing many times over as the various ingredients are brought together. Step number 5. The staff here will now fold the small pieces of dough into a triangular vessel and stuff it with the seasoned potato blend that they have just mixed. The raw samosas are then lined up in a tray in preparation for step number 6, the final process in samosa making. We are now more than 20 minutes into the samosa making process. And now, finally, we come to step number 6, frying the samosa. The samosas are tossed into a vat of boiling soy oil where they'll cook for about 4 to 5 minutes until the dough takes on a certain camel-colored hue. The samosas are then removed from the vat, drained and set aside to cool off a bit before making their way out to the customer. Some customers prefer to dip their samosas in a chutney sauce for added flavor. So as you can see, eating the samosa takes seconds, but preparing it sometimes seems like an eternity. Thank you for watching, everyone. This is The Good Life, coming to you from the recesses of the Punjab Cafe kitchen in Quincy. Bon appetit!